Hi everybody, I'm Joe Parker of the Pixel Depot, and today we're going to do something different. This is Mail Call! Yes, I decided to purchase some miniature figures from a company called miniprints.com. This is a small business out of Canada run by a gentleman named Bernard Helen. I saw him on an interview with Model Railroading Live one evening and thought that the stuff that he did was rather interesting, so I decided to purchase some and check them out. Those arrived in the mail yesterday, so I decided to open them up with you guys so that we could check them out together. Before we get started, just a reminder to click on that subscribe button and also click on the bell so that you'll get notified when there is new content available. And with that, let's get to it. Miniprints does a lot of small figures that are printed in resin. Multiple scales, HO, NO, and S, I believe he does things in. And what he specializes in is the unusual, I guess you would say. He made a point of saying he didn't want to do the things that everyone else was doing, like propane tanks and so on and so forth. So the resin 3D printing that he does focuses on some more unusual things. He has a lot of people, he has some unusual vehicles, a lot of small animals, and so on. So what I did was order a few things from him to try things out and see how they go. And so that package came, and I'm going to open it up here, and we will take a look at things together. These figures all come unpainted, just so that you're prepared for that. So nice sticker that came with it, a couple of stickers actually. Some documentation on how to care for your mini prints, and a little bit of information about his site and how you could win some money if you do a review. So that's cool. And a nice box that the figures come in. It's a solid plastic box. I do remember on that interview that I saw with him talking about that and making a point of saying that it helps to keep things protected in shipping, and also if you need to store things, you can do that there. So first off, we've got the shopping carts, which I will take out of the bag here. These are really quite well detailed. He uses resin for his material instead of plastic filament, so he can get some pretty good detail on those, and it's nice and thin. These are going to be used for the alley, the back alley of the grunge, assuming that someone appropriated a shopping cart or two and then decided to dump it back there. Something back in the 70s and 80s you used to see quite often. So I thought those would be kind of interesting. Along with following me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, you can also now support me on Patreon. Subscribers can get great exclusive bonuses like behind-the-scenes footage, live streams, and merchandise, including stickers, t-shirts, and maybe even a couple of surprises, so check it out and help support the channel. Doing all this ensures that I can keep providing you with videos just like this one. Next, we've got what he calls Custom Crew number 4. So there are 4 different crews that he makes available. The first 3 are kind of more modern, with modern safety equipment and so on them. This number 4 is really geared more towards the 70s and 80s, with just baseball caps or sort of clothes that are more appropriate for that period of time. Again, the detail's pretty good, especially with the small hands and so on that you can see here. This guy would be leaning up against something. On the photo it's shown that he's leaning up against the side of the caboose, or the railing of the caboose. Again, we'll be able to paint those up and use those in various places. If you look at the operating session video that I did just recently, it would have been nice to have this guy that I could then sort of plant in various places near switches and so on, so that it would look a little bit more realistic for the video and the photos and so on. So we'll put those guys aside as well. And then last but not least is something that's a little bit of a fun thing. I mentioned that there are lots of animals on the site, birds and moose and bears and some other fantasy creatures that I'll let you find on your own. There's also dogs, and in this particular case it is the defecating dog, which appealed to my crazy sense of humor. Anyone that watches this channel with any regularity knows that My humor is a big part of me, and it's not always the most normal thing. So the defecating dog was definitely something that I thought would be kind of cool to check out. Again, the detail on it is quite good. Very thin on the feet and the tails, so it's quite to scale. So that's kind of nice. It's another benefit of using the resin that he uses for his material. All told, and that did include a discount code, but all told for these 3 different sets, as well as shipping from Canada, came to just over $25. So in the ballpark of a Preiser or a Woodland Scenics set like these. Granted, they're not painted, but given that you're getting something that is a little bit unusual, not mass produced and so on, I think it's well worth the money to get something that you're typically not going to find from one of the other manufacturers as part of their offerings. So the next job, of course, on this will be painting them up. So I will show you some pictures once I'm done with that. Probably not in this video, of how those came out. So mini prints. This will be a short video. So mini prints. You can find the site at miniprints.com or miniprints.ca. He also has a Facebook page that you can find where you can see some of the contests and things that he runs. He's done caption contests and things like that in the past. So go check it out. You might find something there that's a little bit unusual. It's a little bit of humor infused into most of those things. Check it out. Support his small business, and I think you'll probably find that there's at least something there that you'll be able to use. So that's all for today's episode. In the next video, I am actually going to take the shopping carts that you saw there, paint those up, and weather them a little bit so that they'll be ready to go on the layout back here. So stay tuned for that. Once again, don't forget to subscribe and to click on the bell. I'm Joe Parker of the Pixel Depot. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll meet me next time in the train room.